Combination of the two. Freedom from Father. Amen. We've been blessed by the presence of two of our best memory builders. Christopher and Laura are, when they come back from beyond the horizon, sitting in all those airports, making their way back toward us to report on El Salvador and Rwanda, Sarajevo. We have two people who come back and report, but we listen to them because they excite our memories, something in us, some, Dr. Science, some self, what was that word that you used? Some story that we've stored up in our self-assembly is excited by their reporting. So they may come from a very strange place, but they have the skill to anticipate the resident stories that we have inside of ourselves. And then we leave listening to or watching Laura's interview show or reading Chris's columns. We are moved. We have something in ourselves that rises to meet what they have to tell us. That cycle has been broken with our ultimate storyteller. Something has happened. And now the rest of my sermon tonight will be proving a negative. The rest of my story tonight will be talking about a lacuna, an emptiness, an abyss. And all I can do is walk up to the edge of it with you and share stories that are up near it. We can hold hands and jump into the emptiness, try to make our way back and try to catch something out there. But there's a terrible gap that leaves us with this remarkable impasse that we find ourselves at in 2011. The time of maximum, we're told, connectedness and a minimum understanding. We can all talk to each other simultaneously, all the time, anytime. And the earth is actually radically changing its ecosystems. Its tectonic plates are moving. Its climate is changing. In this country, we've had 900 tornadoes since the first of the year. 600 in April. 6 times more than the April in 2010. And yet, Bill McKibben said in a Chris Hedges interview this last week, those tornadoes were reported as standalone events, independent, discrete events. There was no relationship among any of them. No context. We could not ask the question why. So we didn't get the story. The earth was not able to tell us the story that I believe we should have heard. We believe in the Church of Earthalujah. We're leaping here. We have a leap of faith here. We believe the earth is trying to express something to us. But those 600 tornadoes, especially Tuscaloosa and Joplin, of course, they were reported, and the commercial storytelling apparatus descended upon them, and they became tabloids. They became sentimental. The handsome, sort of with the on-purpose casual hair, people with the microphones were going up to people who were distraught and getting these heartrending confessions from them. The victims, the heroes, the healers, the people who were rushing in to help the injured. All of it was ordered, and gradually, in each case, the earth became less and less a character in the story, less and less the author of the story. And by the end of a couple days, you think, well, the earth didn't have that much to do with Joplin. You know, that was a tornado. As if a tornado is some sort of Hollywood, Jean-Paul, some sort of Hollywood transformer or something, some sort of new Duke Nukem Forever character, which just came out of nowhere, no context. Amen. In my entire life, I've never lived in a... Lena. I've never had a 14-year-old, month-old daughter before. She'll be 14 years old very soon. But I think something about my sermon upset Lena. I've never, ever lived... I wonder if any of you feel this way as well. I've never lived walked around inside my culture and felt that the basis of how people tell each other information has been this absurd. This absurd. Just pick up the art section of the New York Times, brimming with energized, happy, funded careers. Nothing about the earth there. And no review of our work either. Sour grapes! We are now basically unable to follow cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect through a cycle. The obvious example that we see every day is the economy. We're a part of an unprecedented shift of money to a very small group of people. They say that it's more extreme than the robber baron period of the 1890s. And yet every single day we are watching our effort to make good government, to pool our resources and to have libraries and have schools and have hospitals and have the things that we all need, the human services we all need. We're told repeatedly that we're broke, that we have no money, and we can't raise taxes because that's bad for jobs. Just repeatedly, every day. It's a mantra. It's a mantra. The Tea Party learned it. The corporations learned it. The politicians learned it. Everybody says it again and again and again. And it has never been proven. It's basically a lie. It's a self-serving lie by those corporations. That's not what causes jobs. Giving tax money back to the rich does not create jobs.
Hallelujah.
That's obvious. That's obvious. But so many Americans are unable to follow the money. There's a gap there. There's a gap. Let's see, I made this money. I pay my taxes. Where does it go? It goes to, well, everything we're supposed to be paying for is falling apart. And these 5% are now up to 43% of all wealth in this country.
What?
So there's a gap. We're not following the circle around. The cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. That is no longer continuous. There's a break in the story.
Yes.
There's a disabling. Part of that break, a part of that break, is that we can't go into public space anymore. Now, some of you may have been a little bit confused that we're supposed to be an Earthalujah church here. And every other song, we're singing about public space and the First Amendment. But, you know, we're the Earthalujah church after 12 years of being the stop shopping church. And we have been in public space being arrested all the time. And we happen to believe that you can't just sit in front of your computer. Nothing will change.
That's right.
We must embody our change in public space.